Hey guys, and welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. As always, I'm DemonFire93, and last time we let Byakuya basically take control of the whole trial here, which I am actually liking it because it's like, I'm tired of being the only person with a brain in this goddamn game. Really, like, nobody can figure a damn thing out but me. So, having Byakuya figure all this stuff out has been a joy. And so now he's trying to figure out who the person was who switched the protein drinks with the poison for Sakura, because Sakura was poisoned, and we are almost positive that it's going to be Hina.
All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
Oh, somebody interrupts.
It was me.
Dang, dang, dang. Well, question mark, question mark, question mark. I have no idea who that could be. I think maybe it was Hiro who's saying that line. I mean, they clearly had the voice acted, but come on, really?
The footprints. They're mine.
Yep.
Hina?
Don't act surprised.
If you're all gonna find out anyway,
I've been thinking it's you for a long time.
I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Why would you kill your own best friend, though?
Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it.
Yep.
And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers, huh? The only people wearing sneakers here are Makoto and Hina. Makoto and Leon, yeah.
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
Yes, these footprints must be. Makoto, are they yours? No. Okay, then let me see your shoes, and I'll confirm it right now.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Only Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began.
Yeah, constantly wanting us to... okay, let's do the vote. Let's put it to vote. We have the answer. Let's vote. Let's vote. Let's vote. Because she did it, and she wants to get out of here. She wants to be the sole survivor.
You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you?
Because every single time we had the wrong suspect.
This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
I can.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That is true.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction.
But the question is why Hina did it.
Hina used that trust to kill her.
I don't think she has that much in her, but maybe Sakura asked her to?
She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us.
Ah, shit, we still haven't figured out the goddamn locked room, though.
I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt.
Uh-huh.
She asked me to bring her that protein drink, but when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right?
Calm down, Byakuya.
That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then...
Hold it!
Kyoko doesn't believe you.
I'm not convinced.
And I'm not sure either because of Kyoko. Damn it, Kyoko, why do we have to always... It's like when I was set into a line with Byakuya, I'm like, I know that something's off here, but... How is it not Hina, then?
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you?
Still doesn't explain the locked room, Byakuya.
You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves.
So in the end...
Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism,
Because the evidence just apparently doesn't line up.
but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Yeah, the goddamn locked room.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Yeah.
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
The only way is if she, told Sakura to bar the door for her.
Well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
A magician never reveals her tricks. Shut up, Hina, you're not
No,
a magician.
it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Yeah.
Surely you're not. Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
God damn it.
And if I do?
Well, then we have to investigate more.
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
Yeah.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
I don't believe it anymore.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Oops, I killed her. Oh well. What did I do? What can I do? Good, time to go on. Yeah, now I'm not believing it anymore.
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail?
We're gonna find the contradiction
Tell
here.
us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
It sure does.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit.
Calm down, Byakuya. I was right there with you, but
There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to section C.
Nope.
And got the poison.
there it is, right there, because there's no footprints at section C. There's only footprints at section A.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
No, I guess that's true.
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
I see. Okay then, go
Then
on.
how did it wind up on Sakura's oh, shit, I think I figured it out.
So then I moved to section A and got the protein powder. And that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that,
Is it really?
I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room.
No.
But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told.
It's a very nice story, but it's not true.
First you went to section C to get the poison. Then moved to section A to get the protein, right?
There's two things wrong with that. Yeah, because, Makoto is gonna figure it out here, because whoever came in and left the footprints went directly from the door to section A. They didn't go, the footprints would have been coming from section A, or from section C to section A. So...
Meaning you went from section C to section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, and the footprints go from the door to section A, essentially. Unless she, stepped to section C, grabbed the poison, dropped the bottle, and spilled it all over the place, and then walked away towards the door, and then came back. And it's like, no. But if that's true, isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events
No.
one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
Big
It's
Mac?
the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Oh, for God's sakes. Hate it. Footprints in the powder. Footprints in the powder, man.
First I went to section C.
Wrong.
That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Yep.
Okay, and then?
And then...
I moved from Section C to Section A.
No, you didn't.
No, that's wrong.
Tired of hearing it! Stop fucking repeating everything. I don't want to go through the rest of that again.
You
to
said
deal
you
with
went
it.
to get the poison from Section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
There would have been footprints from
And
C to
after
A,
that,
not
you
from
said
door to
you
A.
moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
Why?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I left the footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Maybe it was
You
Byakuya.
lied to us.
But-
Plain and simple.
No, I'm fairly
If you look at
certain
the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious.
you went straight to A,
The
and then
powder
back.
had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A.
But who would have spilled the powder? Who could it have
So you
been?
never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
Well,
Just... What have I said a number of times, Hina? Just shut up and go back in the corner. We'll figure this out ourselves. But you are not helping anything.
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints
You're wrong,
aren't the only
Byakuya.
problem with her account. Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence?
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
What is this new evidence?
Did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me.
What? Well, protein powder.
I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
We're acting like it's Byakuya now.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
What is this? A piece of glass?
It had
Oh.
sunk to the bottom of the bottle.
But the glass, yeah, the glass
And
from
the
the window.
hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder.
It's good that you didn't drink too much or you would have drank glass. That's not good for your intestines.
I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize?
God,
Well then.
Kyoko's just loving this.
Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Do I have to?
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
Okay. A shard of blue glass. Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now I broke something with that same shade of blue. The rec room window.
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
Yeah. Which means that the bottle of poison was in the rec room when the window got shattered.
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
And that's why the protein canister was left on top of the glass, was because it was planted afterwards, because Hina came in, grabbed the poison bottle out, and swapped it with the protein can, and yeah. And everybody else figuring it out now? Because I know who the culprit is. And it's gonna be interesting to find out how
It
we
must
resolve
be.
it.
Of course, that leads to another question.
Because you can't punish somebody who's already dead.
How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? According to what Hina told us, section A of the shelf.
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina?
Yeah.
And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
Why is everybody fucking lying in this case? Why can't people just tell the truth? I mean, obviously. But everybody who's not the killer is lying.
In reality, That bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there.
Exactly.
That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast.
Byakuya can't keep up.
I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked?
Because...
We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right?
No, we've known from the beginning that it was planted.
If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
What
It
now?
has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
No, because if it had been moved, then that's how it got on top of the glass. But if it had been there from the beginning, yeah.
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Nobody moved the can.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Nobody stumbled over it. Nobody tripped over it. Nobody kicked it so that it wound up on top of the glass.
Yeah,
It was planted there.
Me either.
Not me.
Same here.
Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
And Byakuya's about to lose his shit.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
Because she's smarter than you, Byakuya. The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was opened. Jesus, there's so much. Source of the powder, empty protein drink, chem lab shelf, empty protein drink.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
Yes.
No, that's impossible.
It's very possible.
It had to have been in there the whole time.
Humph.
It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was...
No.
No, that's wrong. You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it.
If they had just put the can, if Hina had just put the can literally anywhere but by the glass.
It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation.
Yeah.
Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
Yeah, we figured it out, Hina.
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
Let's say it all together now.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Let's say it all together now. 1, 2, 3. Suicide.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was?
Yeah,
Such a ridiculous fiction is...
exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened.
Thank you, Kyoko.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, We need to clarify one
Why?
other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
Okay.
It was Hina, right?
No.
She took it and gave it to Ogre.
No.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room, it had to have been Sakura.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself?
Yes.
What are you talking about? There's no way!
Come on, Hina, you know the answer to this.
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
Because she's the one that dropped the poison all over the ground, left the powder, because
You're
that's how it
lying.
got on her foot,
Stop
right?
lying!
And that's how it got on her foot, her shoe. And that is how I figured out that it was her. You're lying.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you lie like that?
Oh my god. It's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence I need. Now I have to hit Hina with it. I have to make her accept it. Oh god, are we gonna do another moment of truth? Yeah, of course. I hate these. This is the third one this goddamn trial.
You're a liar!
What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking!
Oh god.
Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
I don't know.
This should prove it.
Yellow powder on her foot.
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
Yeah.
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab.
In other words, Sakura spilled the poison.
That powder was yellow, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm colorblind. I thought it was
So
gray.
the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura.
Yeah, and she was at the poison counter. Getting poison for herself.
And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
No.
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
Yes.
No! It was me! The poison!
Shut up, Hina. Because of the wonderful things you do? You don't do anything wonderful. Shut up.
Because I killed her!
You did not.
No, you didn't kill her.
The one that killed Sakura. The connection between Sakura and the poison, the unsolved mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it. Okay.
Here's my answer.
Sakura killed Sakura.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
Yes.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because of course, Sakura wanted to create the locked room. Byakuya created the locked room in secret. No.
The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina?
Duh.
You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you?
Because she wanted all of us to die. Because she was mad that
When we found her body,
Sakura would kill herself.
you stayed right there near the door. Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to get them. I have to get the others. Yeah, you would have been... On Shigula's Hina, yeah, she would have been right there by Sakura's
You
side.
said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
Yep.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room...
Sakura's
While
been
everyone
killed, I
else
see.
was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, you should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body.
Yeah, that was a little bit odd.
The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death.
Man.
That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right?
Yep.
The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
Yeah, because she's mad at you all for being so negative towards Sakura.
No!
You're strong.
I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is!
Do I need to go over
Actually,
the investigation?
no. You're right. We have to end this properly.
Of course we do. Closing argument begin. Okay. Oh boy. So let's see. No. Left there. She goes into the locker. He smashes her head. Writes Toko. Oh wait. Sorry. There we go. Byakuya gets the note looking so menacingly. What the fuck? Toko comes out of the locker. Puts the magazine upside down. Smashes the queen. She grabs the poison.
The killer is you! This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room.
Can't believe it. Byakuya looks so fucking
those
menacing.
people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya.
Ha ha ha! She's asking me to the rec room. That's where I'll kill her.
But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others.
Toko.
She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. she found it, she crawled into the locker to get out of sight.
Dun 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 dun.
Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro.
This meeting here looks ridiculous too. Sakura's just like, sup, dude. And yeah, Hiro looks so menacing. Take a piece of candy, bud.
When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked.
Dun
Without
dun.
thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name.
Toko.
Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her.
He then
But
ran
of
up.
course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear,
She opened the door.
she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others.
Thing she didn't realize is that she put it upside down.
But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack.
And
When
Jack
she woke back
smashed
up, her second
her again.
personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head.
But neither of those
Assuming
killed her.
Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the
Scary.
broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death?
Poison. Ingested by
It
herself.
was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath.
So many acts to this one.
Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We
Ah!
had to smash the door's window to get inside.
I love that one. Rah! Sakura!
But someone already knew what had happened. Knew that she had committed suicide.
Oh, and we're gonna make the killer image to look like Hina.
And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground.
Usually the image of the killer
And
is
while
the
nobody
killer,
was
but
looking,
this time it's just
replaced it with an empty protein
Hina who
can.
tried to throw us off.
They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort
Was you, Hina.
was you, Hina.
Whoa.
That's the full truth of the case.
And that's the end of the episode. See you guys next time.